In just 2 weeks, on November 4th, more than 2,000 inmates could have the possibility of being released from New Jersey state prisons. This is all a part of the state's plan to help curb coronavirus in the system. Inmates serving time for sex crimes, murder, repetitive and compulsive charges are not being considered, but certain inmates, including parolees and juveniles, could have the opportunity to end their sentencing early, up to 8 months before their original release date. Prisons across the Garden State have seen more than 3,000 cases of coronavirus, resulting in 52 deaths, giving the state's prison system the highest death rate in the country. But in comparison to deaths at 3 veterans' homes and long-term care facilities in New Jersey, the Monmouth County Sheriff says it just doesn't add up.
Any one death is too many. So when you look at the prison population, comparatively speaking, the ratio just doesn't marry up to justify the mass amounts of inmate releases that would occur.
This would be the second wave of inmate releases since the start of the pandemic in March. In Monmouth County, where only 3 inmates and 8 correctional officers had the virus, 44 inmates were released. Of those released, there have been just over 100 reoffenses.
When we look at the top 5, quite frankly, we have one individual that was arrested over 26 times now.
Sheriff Golden says these releases do not consider victims' voices.
In our one case, we had 2 brothers that were released in Monmouth County that led to a Hazlet Township officer's retirement because it was assault on police officers and a police canine, and they were released out of my facility. So it doesn't take into account some of the victimization that has occurred, and I find that troubling.
Another issue is re-entry programs.
Housing, drug addiction and addiction services, homelessness, education. All of these things need to be addressed when a person is released from the facility. And my fear, and I think the fear of a lot of others in law enforcement, is that those are not being addressed as we release the masses back into our communities.
According to state officials, of the 2,000 inmates that could be released on November 4th, 800 will be on parole. About 250 have no place to go, and plans for the remaining 1,200 are unclear.
You know, that begs the question, really, when we're talking about the debate on whether to release early or not. Is it really about coronavirus and the spread within the facilities? Has those numbers come down and we flatten the curve in the facilities? The answer is yes.
An additional 1,000 inmates could also be released in the coming months. Now, this is only if the governor approves the bill that's currently on his desk. Reporting in Monmouth County, Heather Fordham, New Jersey News Network.